45-degree angle because you're butting these up to create a 90. So sometimes they're more than that depending on how crazy your die is, but 90% of your corners are 90. So the way this works is there's a center line right here. That right there can be adjusted. Yep. So this piece lines up to that center line, okay?
Okay.
So this is what's going to set it square to that. So we're going to make sure we're square.
I see. That one is going to the center. Oh, that one is going to the center line. Yeah.
Yep. So that goes to the center line. Mm-hmm. So we go out there. We rotate this where I can mark on it. Okay. So that's going to go into this, and this is going to set, say you need one that's 5 inches. You're going to make that cut. You're going to take that and slide it to that point. Make sure you're flush. And then you just push that down. And then that one's mitered for your 45. Then you slide this one through. And you just do your next 40. Those will be the same length. So when you look at these, and you stack them back to one another, they both have the right angle. They're the exact same length. So then when you put them on the score, because you'll put them on your score roll that's on the die, so you'll put them upside down. So when they're on the score roll, they're 45'd out. That gives you a perfectly tight joint to those scores. So where you've got the metal plates now that's lower ground out, these are for whenever you have just a standard matrix die built, you can change the matrix, which lets you run. This is a 0.4 by 1.1. So that 0.4 is the depth. When we look in here, so you put this on the die, snap it onto the rule, then you move your impression, then you do that single pass just like you're lining up your bottom plate. Well, when you do that, you have this on the rule, you take that and you peel this off. So that's adhesive. So when the die flips over, it's on the rule, it comes down, it sticks that to the plate. So now it's stuck. Then you peel this. This is just alignment. So you peel that off. So this number, that is the 0.04 and 1.1. So the 0.04 is the depth. The 1.1 is the width. So when you're doing a heavier sheet, that has to be wider and that has to be deeper. So you'd go, remember that picture you took of on my phone, the matrix?
Yep.
So that's where you get into the 0.6 by 2.1, 0.6 deep, 2.1 wide. That makes it wide enough to do the thicker sheets. When you get, this is basically for a 10-point sheet. So that gives you the height, the depth, and the tighter width. Because it's a thinner sheet, that gives you a lot crisper score in that zone. So you change the width and depth of your matrix where you can't do that with a metal plate. So that's the advantage of having a matrix die, is it's a universal die at that point. All you change is the matrix.
Okay. That means, for example, if I have the matrix die, obviously I don't need a bottom plate.
Correct.
But it's not like I added more pressure. I just changed these the chords. But the blade is gonna be just go.
A standard universal matrix die is 937 cut roll, 918 score roll. And then you change the different thickness of the matrix for the different thickness of paper you're running.
My question is for scoring. These are for scoring, obviously. We have to decide, or there is a place on the die for these matrix? You know what I mean?
To decide what height it is?
No. For example, that's a die for hypothetically. That's
I'll go get that die. We'll look.
Oh. But this is the die that has been made already.
Yeah, it's made for a steel plate.
Correct. Now, if I want to put the scoring, do they come like it with these with with the scoring
No,
blade?
you have to make these when they come to you. They do not give you the matrix. That's what this is for. You measure them, you cut them, you put them on.
Yes, but like for example, we say from this side to this side, I need 5 centimeter, for example.
Yeah.
I measure and I glue back or
Yeah.
put it
like
back.
Like this piece right here. This is the old school way of doing it. So I wanna put a score on here. It's gonna be difficult because this is a perf die. So that goes all the way to right there. This comes over here. You can push that down on that perf. And that tells you what that is right there. It kind of scores it for you. So then you're going to go in and you're going to cut it to that position, and then you know exactly what that length is. Then you cut all the ones you need. So I need of those. I need a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that width. Everything else is basically perf, I think. Is that perf? Yeah. So you've only got 4 scores on this die. 3 scores.
My
on this
question
die.
is when the die comes in for the matrix one,
Yep.
or ready, what do you call them?
It's a matrix, just a standard matrix die.
Standard matrix die. There is no scoring blade on it.
Yes,
Or
it will
is
have it. Yes,
they will
will
have
come,
it.
It will come just like this die right here. See how you got a 937 score
Yep.
rule?
Mhm.
You got a 937 cut rule.
I
So
see.
that means they're the same height. When you get a matrix die, you're going to have a 937 cut rule, but you're going to have a 918 score rule. So that means they're not here. That means one is
Lower.
20 thousandths, like 19 thousandths lower or whatever it is.
Yep.
Just a little bit lower. And that's to compensate for these.
I understand.
This you can't use this on because this is too tall.
I understand. No,
No.
I thought they don't even come with these.
No, it does come
and
with
we have to glue it.
Oh, No, they just come with shorter score
Yeah,
rule that
oh.
works with this.
Then that's why we can use these to even
because
put
you
on
can
those.
different thicknesses for different paper instead of having to have a whole bunch
Mm-hmm.
of bottom plates made that are really expensive, and you may not ever use them.
Correct. Imagine-
Because if you have that one set up for 24 point, and the customer goes, I don't like that paper, it's too
I
thick.
want 18,
Yeah,
then
you
we are
want
not
18,
gonna
then
be
you can't
able.
use that die.
Correct. من اینا ببین دای کلا اینجوریه که این دایی که سفارش میده با بک پلیت میاد برای یه مدل محصول میاد مثلا 14 پوینت 24 پوینت 18 پوینت و whatever. ما دیگه نمیتونیم اونو عوض کنیم بزنیم روی یه چیز دیگه مثلا با 18 پوینت نمیتونیم 12 پوینت بزنیم although we have done the like for example the die was for 18 point, we've done 12 which we are not satisfied.
Because the score's not deep enough.
It's
It's
scores,
cracking.
it's cracking.
آها،
That's
شما
what
یعنی
happens.
این جایی که سفارش میدی خب برای مثلا یه گرماژ دیگه ایه الان با یه گرماژ
نه
دیگه این
دایی
جواب
که داریم
نمیده.
سفارش میدیم general completely general like we like
Universal.
tops, universal.
So like on this one right here, this die. So right here, this is your die. That's your PO number. It's got 937 2-point center bevel, 937 high 2-point score rule or creasing rule, and then 937, 937 2-point half, all that. That tells you that all that rule is the same height. So whenever you get a universal, you're going to be 937 center bevel, and you're going to be 918 creasing rule.
Creasing roll.
So that's the difference. That
Like
right there.
these
So
will be
these are- these are
918.
shorter.
Those are. Then
So
we
it
can
allows
use
for this
these.
to be in
Yeah. Then we can use these based on the type of the paper that we have, and the apparently the Mike has shared with me the. It was the plan for all materials.
Yeah, kind of your standards.
like standards for what type of paper, what we use. Then we have different
بذار من
types.
فارسی بگم متوجه شدم. شما میگی که این یه چیز